Okay, today we'll start on 91A, and it's 4 lines from the bottom. Amar lei Antoninus Rebbe. Antoninus. See. Antoninus. Let's see. I'll take a look at that note the Kohen says. Do we thank Hashem that you're able to learn Torah every day? Learning we should have this Migdash immediately. Learning also for Shlema, for Naftali ben Menuch Bela. And for everyone else, I need to for Shlema. Safety of Eretz Yisrael, the hostages should be returned safely. Okay, so Amalei Antoninus the Rebbe. Antoninus says to Rebbe. So here they say Antoninus is many scholars have attempted to determine the identity of the Roman emperor who was a close friend of Rabbi Anasi. One of the primary difficulties is that there were several Roman emperors during that period who bore the name Antoninus. Antonius, maybe.
There's a Mark Antony here.
Right. Based on the chronology and the probability of these encounters taking place in Eretz Yisrael, it's likely that Antoninus in question was Marcus Aurelius. It's possible that he encountered Rabbi Anasi in Eretz Yisrael before his appointment as emperor. Interesting. Okay. He's playing it down. He's saying that he met him before he was emperor. That's what they say. He met him before he was emperor. No, it's assumed based on the stories that he was emperor already, and that's why he was killing the soldiers. Remember, he would go through a tunnel and kill the soldiers. Anyway,
in Shakespeare, that's Julius Caesar's best friend. Is Mark Antony.
Oh, Mark Antony. Marcus Aurelius is Mark Antony? No.
Maybe not.
It is? You tell me. I don't know.
I don't know.
History. Okay. Let's see. He says that the body and the soul can each exempt each other from judgment. Why? Because Kate said, how is this? Says it's got to be the neshama that did the avera. Because, look, without the neshama, you see, after I pass away, I'm just like a stone laying in the grave. I wouldn't have been able to do anything. It's all the neshama's fault. The neshama says, Guf chata. It's the body that's in. I've been flying around like a bird ever since I left the body. I don't do sins. I'm just floating around. So Amalei, so Rebbe responded, each one is getting out of this by saying, it's obviously not me. It's the other one. So he says, I'll give you an example. What is this comparable to? King of flesh and blood, Shele Pardis had a beautiful orchard. Nice, at ripening figs. I should buy. Sorry. Yeah. I should buy Shnei Shemrim. Put on it 2 watchmen. One was a lame and one was blind. 2 watchmen watching this. Yeah. So the lame says to the blind, says, I'm able to see. It's good stuff here. It's nice figs. Baba Kibeni. Let me go on your shoulders and I'll take them, we'll eat them. And he probably tells him, go right, go left, whatever, because he can see the other guy, but he can't walk. The other guy can walk, he can't see. So Rachav Chigar Gabisumi gives him a shoulder ride. And he brings them, they eat it. After a while, the owner of the orchard comes back. Where are those nice dates that were growing here? The lame person says, look, you don't trust me. I don't even have feet. Of course, it wasn't me. The blind person says, do I have eyes to see? What did Hashem do? He put the lame on top of the blind. He judged them together. So to Hashem, maybe Neshama brings the soul, and he throws it into the body. He's going to judge them together. Is this referring to end of time by Tchias Mesim? Shnemar Yikral Shemayim Miyal V'La'aretz Ladin Amai. We're going to read it as Imai. It says Amai. He calls to the heaven above and to the earth. He judges his nation. Yikral Shemayim Miyal. He calls to the heavens above the Neshama. It's referring to the soul. V'La'aretz Ladin Amai. It really wants to say in the earth he judges with him. The Amai could also mean with him. So he wants to say that he judges them both together. That guf. And that's the body. The quote in there of Victor Miller sounds like against the rules of Art Scroll. They only use traditional commentary. From which book? Wow. They have in here. They're like they're getting into stuff that they never do. Article is supposed to be more like classic commentary. Here they say Rabbi Victor Miller taped lectures on this chapter suggest that the body mentioned by this Gemara does not refer to the physical body, but rather to the human personality, with which one clothes his pure soul through his free-willed activities in this world. That personality becomes attached to the soul, which is in itself pure and incapable of sin. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. Just I'm surprised Art Scroll is bending their standards. In their Chumash, they do that. In the Chumash, they use modern commentaries. Okay. Amalei Antoninus Rebbe. Antoninus says to Rebbe, "Name Achami Yitzis b'Mizrach Ishkas b'Marab." Maybe they made exceptions because I got it here. In the Ein Yaakov, what the Art Scroll published in new Ein Yaakov, black volumes, smaller volumes, and in there they're much more liberal. They quote. There's nothing wrong with Rabbi Miller. He's a great scholar. I'm surprised it's like more flowery and stuff. Okay, Antonina says to Rebbe, why does the sun come up in the east and set in the west? Amalei, Rebbe says, if it was the opposite, you would ask the same question. Like, why the firemen wear red suspenders? Something like that. It says, what do you want? If it rose in the west and said in the east, you would ask me that question as well. Amalei, hachi kamin alach. No. I'm asking a different question. It says, why does it need to cover the whole sky? Let it just come up and go back down. Comes up and goes back down. Wants to bow itself in the west to its creator. It says the host of the heaven, to you they bow. Let it go up halfway. You don't have to go all the way close when you bow down. So, you enter in, you bow, and you leave. So let it go up halfway and then leave. It says it would be difficult on the workers that they wouldn't see when sunset's going to be. And they wouldn't see because the sun would just go up and hang around up there, and then it would just disappear. They wouldn't see the sun setting. The sun setting gives them time to pack up their things and to go home. And also the travelers want to be able to go to their hotel before it gets dark. So it's good that you have that afternoon time where it's see when it's getting dark. Mess up the sun clock. Amalei Misha as Yitzir. No, we skip the line. Amalei Antoninus the Rebbe. Antoninus says to Rebbe Neshama Memasai Nitna Ba'adam. When does the person get the soul? Mishas Pekida Mishas Yitzira. From the time of Pekida means visiting or remembering. So it's when the angel takes the drop and brings it to Hashem and says, what's going to be with this? Is this going to be smart or foolish? It's going to be strong or weak? All of those things. Or is it from the time of formation? I guess the difference is the 40 days. Is it from conception or is it from formation, which is 40 days later? Let me see what it says here. I think it actually says Pekida is from 40 days before conception. I think that's what the Gemara Nida said. Is it from the moment of conception? That's what he's translating Pekida. Or from the moment of formation? B. This is not mere abstract speculation, as it touches on the ethical and practical dilemma of abortion. Fundamentally, Antoninus is asking whether one who ends the life of a fetus less than 40 days after conception is liable for punishment, either by an earthly or heavenly court. Okay, that's interesting. That's a good point. So, when does it get the soul? Amalei Mishas Yitzir, he says from the time of formation. How is it possible? It takes 40 days for it to be formed. How could all the flesh stay there for 40 days without a soul? If it's not alive. You can't, without preserving the meat, it can't even last for 3 days. So it would just begin to rot. So Rebbe says, you're right, Al Mishas Pekida must be from conception. I'm a Rebbe. Lamadni Antoninus. This was taught to me by Antoninus. I want to get the reading of that Lamadni. Limdani, Antoninus. Antoninus taught me, a Mikra Messiah and actually have a pasuk that supports what he said. Shamra Kudascha could mean from conception. It also can mean your laws guarded my spirit, but it could also mean from conception, you guarded my spirit, or it guarded my spirit. Amalei Antoninus l'Rebbe. Antoninus said to Rebbe, when does the Yetzirah start? Mishas Yitzira, Mishas Yitzia. When it's formed in the womb, or when it leaves the womb. Amalei Mishas Yitzira. So it's from when it's formed. Amalei Kain Bayit b'meim of Yitzir. If it has Yetzirah already, it would probably kick inside and make its way out. So Ella Mishas Yitzia, it must be rather when it leaves, not when it's in the womb. It doesn't have Yetzirah in the womb. I'm a Rebbe, that was a Limdani Antoninus Mikra Messiah. This Antoninus taught me this, and the pasuk supports him. At the entrance, sin is awaiting. Yeah, remember that book Gesher Achayim in English. There was like the third volume of Gesher Achayim was translated into English. And in there he has like this two babies inside the womb are arguing, is there life after birth? I was doing this comparison, like is there life after death? So he was doing this comparison with babies that don't see what's going to happen afterwards. Is there life after birth? Okay.
I thought you were going to say, because he said about 2 babies, Maharsha adds that this conflicts with the Midrash about Esau.
And what does he say? Does he answer that?
Yeah,
Hillel's telling me that
other...
the Art Scroll notes quote the Marsha that asks that Esav was already fighting in the womb. Margalah Sayam. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Reish Lakish, Rami Reish Lakish poses the following contradiction. Ksiv, bam iver piseach harav yeledes yachdav. He says then there's going to be the blind man and the lame man, the pregnant woman and the one that gave birth will all be together. Okay. Ksiv also says, Ozydalig ka'ayel, and will jump like a, what type of an animal is that? A ram? A gazelle? Or what is it? Gazelle or ram? Piseach, the lame person will start to jump. V'tarein lashanilim, and the mute person will start to sing. Kinifku b'midbar, because it sprouted forth in the desert, mayim and nechalim and streams, barava in the plain, which means everything is going to be just wonderful. First pasuk says that you're going to have together, you're going to have the lame and the blind, they're all going to be together. It means there will be lame and blind. Second pasuk says that the lame person is going to start to jump, the mute person is going to start to sing, which means they're not going to have any of those difficulties. Okay, said, how does this reconcile? It says that they're going to revive from the dead with their blemishes, but then he's going to heal them. So both are going to happen. Ula posed the contradiction. One pasuk says that death will be swallowed up and Hashem will wipe tears off all the faces. Another pasuk says, there won't be any even if someone dies at 100, it'll be considered a lad. What does it mean? There won't be anyone that dies young, that dies as a baby. So we no more thenceforth one young in years. No one who should not fill his days. Okay, which means that there will be death, but it's going to be at age 100. How does this work? The first pasuk says that there will be no death. It says like Kasha, it's not a problem. Can be Israel, can be one is referring to the Jews. There'll be no death. The non-Jews will die at 100. It says my boss, and what are the non-Jews doing at that time? It says referring about those that it was says this is talking about the non-Jews that are going to be your helpers. They're going to shepherd your sheep and your flock, and those that will take care of your silos and your vineyards. Yeah,
I thought that they would just put it more.
yeah. Well, let's take a look at this this commentary, and here it says, yeah, the answer is Nachar, needs Gentiles. It's Gentiles.
Yeah, but you have to observe.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Koran is more correct. Hillel was asking that if it says idolaters, how are they coming back? It wouldn't be idolaters, but the Koran has a better version of the text. They edited it to say idolaters to make the Gentiles not feel that we're talking about them. They said idolaters, they don't exist anymore. It's the old-fashioned people that not today. So but the original version, at least according to the manuscript that he uses, says Nachem, Gentiles. Rav Chisda Rami, Chisda posed the following contradiction. Says the moon will hide, the sun will be shamed, because Hashem Tzvakis will be the king. And also says, says the moon is going to be much brighter. It's going to be as bright as the sun. The sun is going to be 7 times as bright. It'll be like the light of the 7 days of creation. So the first one says that they're hiding, that it's going to be dimmed. Now it says it's going to be brighter. So it's contradiction. So it's like Kasha kan Mashiach kan Leilam Haba. One is the first stage, Yemais Mashiach. Then Leilam Haba is after that. It says the tzaddikim are going to be so bright. In Maisa Mashiach, Rashi says the sun and the moon are going to be much brighter. But Lasad Lavai and Eilam Haba, then they're going to be ashamed because the light of the tzaddikim is going to be so much brighter, it's going to make them pale. Shmuel Damar Ein Bein Eilam Hazel Mr. Mashiach Al Shibud Galis Bilvad. But Shmuel said, this was in Ksubas Shrine. Shmuel says that there's no difference. I don't have that on the side. Shmuel says there's no difference between Yemais Mashiach and nowadays. Only difference is going to be who's going to be president or prime minister. That's the whole difference. Just like Shibud Galis, the nations making us who we're subjugated to. So like Kasha. So according to this, so why are you telling me the sun's going to be 7 times as bright? Like Kasha come machna tzadikim come machna shchina. Depends where. In the machna tzadikim, it's going to be the same, but in the machna shchina over there, it's going to be missing words. Missing words. My Gemara is missing words. Rashi has extra words here. Rashi says that both of them are not Timaisa Mashiach. Idi Leilam Haba. Both of them are talking about the world to come. In the Machne Shechina, it's going to be pale. In Machne Tzadikim, it's going to be 7 times as bright. Let me see if he has any other version of the text. He has the same version of the text, but what he says is even now, only the light of God illuminates the camp of the divine presence, and the light of the sun and the moon do not reach there. However, in the future, this will become obvious to all. Okay. Rava, we're going further, yeah? Rami posed a contradiction. I make die and I bring to life. And also says, I wounded and I will heal. What's the contradiction? He's going to do both. I guess Rashi says that aniyamas v'achaya means if he dies blemished, he's going to come up blemished. And however, it also says that I'm going to heal. So how's he going to come up blemished if he's healed? So the answer is like this. What I put to death, I will also revive. And then afterwards, one that I'll heal him later. One that I wounded, I'll heal. Tan Rabbanan was taught in a brisa.
When it first mentioned it, in the bottom of the notes, it said that the reason he would bring them up exactly how they passed is for the wicked that are living at the moment. They see that they were really resurrected. Then, it's for the wicked people that are alive at that moment. They see that the actual person was resurrected, exactly how they were before.
Didn't know there would be wicked people alive at the.
I guess at the beginning, and I remember also like that. There's I guess like a verse that says that you're gonna bring them back also like to show them what's missing. Like I guess it's like an instant. Like he's gonna bring everyone back.
So why does he bring them back to Balmum for the wicked people? Why does he?
When we first talked about this,
All right.
right here.
The dead will be resurrected initially with the deformities, so that the wicked living at the time will not be able to deny that God has resurrected the very people who are dead. Cited by Eitz Yosef. See also morale. Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Anu Rabbanan was taught in a Braisa, yeah? Niyamas v'chaya, I put to death and I bring to life. Yachshtei misa bechad v'chayim bechad. Maybe that means that it's one person's going to die and one person's going to live. It's not the same person. It's just saying that Hashem controls the world. He makes die, he makes live, but not that the person that dies is going to come back to life. That's the typical the manner of the world. Talmud Laimar says, "Machasti vani yarpa, I wound and I heal." Obviously, you can't heal the person that's not wounded. Only heal the person that's wounded. So back to the beginning of the verse, it's talking about the reviving the same person that died. This is an answer to those people that say there's no resuscitation of the dead from the Torah. There is. This is in Parshas Ha'azinu. Tanya was taught in a Bryce. Rabbi Meir. Meir says, how do we know that there's the resuscitation of the dead? Is written in the Torah? Then Moshe and the Jewish people will sing a song to Hashem. This song to Hashem. How are they going to sing this song to Hashem? What do you mean? What does it mean? Then they will sing. They're singing it now. No. Kan. Surely it doesn't say they sang, it says they will sing. We can't from here, there's going to be the resuscitation of the dead. Gates of Davrat Az Yibana or Yivna. Yeshua Mizbeach Lashem. What is it? Yivna or Yibana? Az Yivna. Then Yeshua will build an altar for Hashem. This is after the blessings and the curses on Har Grisim and Har Evel. After they passed over the Yarden. Doesn't say that he built, it says he will build. Obviously, that means in the future, he comes back to life. What do you mean? When it says Yivna, it's always the future. We have a verse that says that at that time, Shlomo, his wives led him astray, and he built altars to these different idols, Kmaish, which is the idol of Maya. He says, what do you mean? Yivne means he's going to bring it build it in the future when Mashiach comes after the resuscitation of the dead. Rather, what it means is that he didn't really build it because he didn't protest his wives that were worshiping idols. It's as if he built it. So Yivne, that future, is really just giving him the blame for something that he didn't actually do right at this moment. Okay, I'm Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, how do we know that the resuscitation of the dead is written in the Torah? Happy are those that dwell in your house, they will praise you forever. They praise you, they will praise you. That proves that in the future they'll praise you. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, whoever sings songs to Hashem in this world will continue to sing in the world to come. Those happy are those that dwell in your house, they will continue to praise you forever. Rabbi says, name of Rabbi Yechlan. How do we know that the resuscitation of the dead is in the Torah? The voice, those that hope in you, they raise their voice. Together they sing. Together they will sing. Together they sing, or they sang. It doesn't say they will sing. It must mean that after the resuscitation of the dead. And the same sages, in the name of Rabbi Yechon. In the future, all the prophets are going to sing a song all in one voice. The voice here at means the seer, the voice of those of the seers those that see for distance. They'll raise their voice together. They will sing to you. Rabbi Yehuda says, name of Rav Talmud. anyone that refuses to teach a student a halacha, it's like I spent a long time learning this. I'm not going to give it to you for free, right? So, it's as if he's stealing from the inheritance of his father. There's different types of sages. Some of them love to teach. Some of them don't like to teach. Say, like the guy that bought a watch. He walks outside, and someone asks him what time it is. He said, "You know how much I spent on this watch? I'm going to tell you the time just like that." So here it says, if he refuses to teach Torah, so stealing he's taking away the person's own inheritance. It says Torah Tzivalanu Moshe. Torah was commanded to us by Moshe. Meirasha Kilas Yaakov, it's an inheritance. The congregation of Jacob. Meirasha Hi Lakol Yisrael Mishesha Mei Bereshis, from the 6 days of creation. Yeah, I don't know why that has to be added in here. I mean, it's another drasha, but anyway, Rashi says, because when it says Bereshis, bara, in the beginning he created, it says he created it for the Torah, which is called Bereshis, which means because of the Torah. And Yisrael also called Bereshis, the first. So which means that Hashem created the world to give to them their inheritance of the Torah. Amar Rab Chana bar Bisna, Amar Rab Shimon Chasida. Chana bar Bisna says the name of Rab Shimon, the Chassid. Anyone that holds back from teaching a halacha to a student, even gets cursed by everyone, even the fetus in the mother's womb curses him. Shnemar minea bar, withholds. Bar means grain, but over here it means bar means Torah. He holds back from the teaching Torah. Be cursed by people. Ubrim. What does it mean? It means the fetus is Shnemar La'um Yamas is by Yaakov and Esav. It says one nation will overcome the other nation. Will always be like a seesaw. When this one's up, that one's down. Well, anyway, it's talking over there about the fetus. So it says it's talking about La'um, which means even the La'um, the fetus, will also curse this person. When it says curse, Ikvuhu probably means to pierce. But over here it's saying that it's going to curse. We're translating Yikvu as to curse. It uses that same expression by Bilam. It says, I can't curse if Hashem didn't curse. And we know that bar, which means grain, is also referring to Torah. Nashku bar penyana. How do they translate nashku bar? Does it mean feed Torah lest he get angry? Yeah? You with me? Let me see this translation. Arm yourselves. Nashku, arm yourselves. That's his translation. Arm yourselves with purity of heart. Bar could also mean purity. Interesting. Lest he grow wrathful. Purity of heart is adherence to the Torah. He says over here, Nashku bar, let's see. Pay homage to bar, lest he be angry. Observe the Torah to avoid God's wrath. Okay. Same thing. The only thing is, he says nashku is pay homage. He says nashku means arm yourself, like neshek, like weapons. Okay. This person that doesn't teach, he gets pierced like a sieve. Maybe like a sifter. So they say like a sifter. Over here it says he'll be pierced by the It says over there that he pierced a hole in its lid. It'll be like a bucket of launderer. The laundry bucket has a bunch of holes in it. That's how a person will be pierced.
That's kind of the job of a teacher, right? To sift.
What is that?
Teach. The job of the teacher is to be a sifter in a way, right?
Like to filter.
To filter, yeah.
Let's see if he says anything. This means that withholding Torah from a student causes one to forget all the Torah that he learned. Oh, Making a hole means that he forgets what he learns. This matches his offense. The same person who sought to withhold Torah from others is ultimately himself left without that Torah knowledge. That's what it's referring to. Very interesting. That's a good shot. Well, someone told me that if you want to save a schus, a segula, that your children should be interested in learning Torah, is to lend out the svarim that you have, to lend them out. And said because it's mida connected mida. It's because if you want to save the svarim, your children, so you want to save them, and they won't want even be interested in them. And you lend them out, so like you can't have the cake and eat it too. So you lend it out, you probably won't get it back. That's usually what happens with svarim. You lend them out, but at least your children will be interested in it. So here he wants to hold all the Torah for himself. In the end, he won't even have that.
If your children get an interest in chemistry, it's because of me. I still have all your chemistry books.
That's right. I remember actually. But it was a little tiny book, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay. Do you have that photosynthesis book? No, I don't think I remember there was a little tiny book on photosynthesis.
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay. I wasn't even looking for So okay, it says, what's his reward? If he teaches Torah, what's his reward? Amar Rav Sheshes. Rav says the name of Rav Sheshes. Zeichel brachas ki Yosef gets the brachas like Yosef got. Shnemar says a bracha l'reish mashpir. A bracha, a blessing on the head of the mashpir is the provider. Is that how they translate over there? Provider. Ve'in mashpir Yosef. Who was the provider? It was Yosef. Shnemar Yosef who ashal taletz mitzrayim. Who mashpir l'chol haaretz. He was the one that provided food for all of the land, all the people in the land. Gets the big brachas. They say what the bracha is. It's bracha like Yosef, which means what?
But it's probably like measure for measure there also.
Right, just like he provided, so this person also provides the Torah. But what was Yosef's bracha?
Yeah, he was at the end. He was in
No.
charge of everything. So that he became the provider.
No. There's a bracha that Yosef gets. The brachas of that Moshe gave Yosef, the bracha that Yaakov gave Yosef, all of those. Or maybe like the eye. Yeah. Right. Maybe they don't get ayin hara, whatever the brachas are, but they don't list it out. Okay. Amar Rav Sheshes kalam lamed Torah be'olam hazeh. Anyone teaches Torah in this world, zeich malam d'leilam haba, teach it in the world to come. Nemer marve gam hu yaira. Okay, now marve could come from the word to teach, like myra. But here it says one who quenches the thirst of his student. With words of halacha, he will also teach in the world to come. Or one who teaches, not one who quenches, one who teaches, he will also teach in the future. How do we know Tchias HaMesim is written in the Torah? This is Rava's version of this. Ruvain will live and he won't die. The double expression is he will live in this world, and he won't die in the world to come. It means he'll be resuscitated. Ravina Amar Mihacha. Ravina has his pshat in what the source is. Says Rabbi miyeshne admas afar yakitzu ela lachayi olam ve'ela lacharafes al drayin olam. Oh, look at this! It says they're going to come back. Many of the people that are laying in the dirt, they will revive like clearly, and these will come up for life, for everlasting life, and these will come up for disgrace and for rebuke. Means the wicked will also come up. I didn't realize the wicked were coming back. coming back to get punished.
They have to see what they're missing out.
So that, yeah, but now, why this is not an explanation for that other shot that you told me, that reason why the people come back blemished is so that the wicked will not. The wicked themselves are coming back,
No, but
so then they'll know.
But that was the living wicked.
Of the living wicked.
Before they die, they get to see everyone come back.
So there'll be living wicked and also be the resuscitated wicked.
And then I guess they all go together. They have to leave.
And then they also come back.
No, after the wicked come back to see what they're missing out on, then the living wicked and those resuscitated wicked, they all go.
Oh. Okay. Ravashi Amar Mehacha. Ravashi says from here, Bata Lech locates B'tanuach B'tamid L'Gerolcha locates a yamin. Go to the end and rest, and then get up to your portion at the end of time. Okay. Amar Rabbi Lazar. Rabbi Lazar says, Kol parna shemanigas atzipar benachas. Any leader that leads his community with pleasantness, zeichaman higam leilam haba. He'll merit to lead them in the future. Shnemar ki merachamam yinagim, because he had compassion on them, he will lead them. Mabui mayim yinalim, and at the springs of water, he will lead them. Amar Rabbi Lazar gedela deya shnit nebein shtei oisius. It's letters. That's two letters of Hashem. Kol shem shel shem. I mean, Malmat Tzivakais. Oisu b'tzvashlei. Apparently, Oisius. Shmufla. Oh, it means wonders. Doesn't. How do they translate there? Between two letters or between two wonders? It's too pshatim. Anyway, it says Deya, which means knowledge. Is placed between the greatest knowledge. It's placed between two names of Hashem. It says Kel Deus Hashem. This is in the song of Shmuel's mother. This is in that song that she sang after she had a baby. So, which means Hashem is a knowledgeable Hashem. Kel Deus Hashem. Hashem is a Kel Deus, a God of knowledge. Amar Rabbi Lazar says, actually in Chassidus it says Kel Deus, that there's Das Elyon and Das Tachton. There's two types of knowledge. There's a lower knowledge. There's two narratives. It's the narrative that we have and the narrative that Hashem has. It's two stories going on simultaneously, two approaches to what reality is. Amar Rabbi Lazar says, Gadol Mikdash, same as with the base of Mikdash. That's also between two names of Hashem. Shnemer Palta Hashem, Mikdash Hashem, Kanu Yadecha. Hashem is performed, and the Mikdash Hashem, the holies of Hashem, was made by your hand. Maskefla Ravada Karchina. Okay. Ravada Karchina asks, Salamiyata Gadol Nakama. What about the verse in Tehillim? It says Shenitim ben Shtei Oisius. It also says it says vengeance. God of vengeance is Hashem. You want to say also that that's considered like so great. Vengeance is great because it says between two names of Hashem, Kel Nakamis Hashem, Kel Nakamis Yefia. Amalei Lemilsa Achinami. You know what? Vengeance in the right time is also something special. Kedula, like Ula says, Damarula Shtei Efes Alala Lama. Why does it say twice? These two haifas means appearances. Why does it appear? Kel Nakamis Hashem, Kel Nakamis Yefia, that the God of vengeance appears. The God of vengeance appears. Well, achas lamida taiva, v'achas lamidas pranas. One is to give reward to the Jewish people. One is to punish the idolaters. I guess it's called vengeance even when he gives reward. No, it's saying it for good. For good. It means it's a reward. That's sometimes you give a reward because you want the what's it called? You want to show everyone else that, see, told you. Yeah, that's why the teachers now they randomize their who they ask the questions to, and that they say like, see if you would have been listening, you would know this. Again, what does he say on this piece? Inventions. Okay.
No, later. I wouldn't-
I think I have to stop it over here. We'll leave it over here. Rabbi Lasser. Let's leave it over here by Omer Rabbi Lasser. Okay. Have a good Shabbos, everyone.
Rabbi, in Hazino, it's a verse about Mahatzi Venya Arape, and so I
Yeah.
heard from Rabbi Swankin that that's also proof that people are going to come and then be healed. Mahatzi Arape.
You're gonna come back and be healed later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was based on this Gemara, where he's gonna bring them back and then heal them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbos.
You there? Okay. Good Shabbos.